Afternoon guys, it's Sam here, and this week we have had quite a lot of positive news coming out of the market, haven't we? So obviously we had Boris come out on Sunday, give what some are calling a bit of a confused message. I didn't actually find it that confusing. I thought it was relatively straightforward. He wasn't going to be able to tell us everything to do with the with what was going on in sort of a 20-minute slot, but gave us the brief outline, which I thought was really positive. And this was obviously followed up on Tuesday when, from a property perspective, we were effectively told the market's back open for business. The government were suggesting that certain people within our sector were actually going to be able to go back to work. Most notably of which, or when I say most notably, I mean two most notables of which, were estate agents and surveyors. And I wanted to jump on and talk today about why I think these two people are so vital for our industry. So let's start with estate agents. Now, estate agents get a pretty bad rep. I've worked with estate agents all my working life, last 13 years, blimey, 13 years, in this industry as a broker. For large parts of that time, I was working in and around estate agents' offices, seeing them on a daily basis. So I like to think I know, how these guys tick. And on the whole, I actually think estate agents get a pretty bad rap, to be quite honest with you. They're good people, they're honest people a lot of the time, and they're tarnished by a few, by the minority. Now, it's massively important that estate agents are back at work, and here's why. Because estate agents drive sales in our market. By them coming back to work, back into the office, and back out doing physical viewings, what they are doing, that they're driving transaction numbers. Now, when we don't have transaction numbers in place, what happens to the market is it stagnates. And what we have been seeing over the last couple of months is transactions stopping at certain points. Very few new sales have been agreed. And then throughout that process, there's been other points where, in my industry, lenders have had to stop transactions from occurring. And because of the dwindling numbers of transactions, actually a lot of solicitors have been furloughed, and especially paralegals and support staff in those solicitors have been furloughed as well, which has kind of just left everything kind of stagnating. And to get something up and running, the best way to do that is to push from the back, is to push from the front, I suppose you could actually say. So having estate agents back in work and back in business, back out there driving sales, getting back on the phone, reigniting viewings that had happened pre-COVID, saying this property's still on the market, are you still interested? That's going to be so important for our industry. So if you do spot some estate agents out and about, give them a bit of a thumbs up, give them some loving, because they're going to be really important to driving our industry forward over the coming weeks and months. So that's massively important. That's going to mean that if we look at the process as a funnel, we got more stuff being chucked in at the top, which is really great. Now, the other person that I mentioned there were valuers, surveyors and valuers. Of course, surveyors and valuers are absolutely vital to the property industry. And especially when it comes to lending, when it comes to mortgages, bridging, whatever it might be, when you're purchasing properties, most of the time, traditionally, lenders have wanted to send out a surveyor to go and see a property physically and give them an indication of what the value of that property is going to be. And the reason that they do that is because they want to make sure that the security, which is the property, is sound, because they're going to be putting a charge over that security as by means of securing their mortgage, their loan. So they want to make sure that it actually is worth what you're going to be buying it for. Now, recently we've had some innovations in terms of desktop valuations and automated valuations, but for the time being, nothing beats the real thing. And as a result of that, having the sort of the green light from the government to say that they are happy for surveyors to go back in to do physical valuations of properties, this is going to give lenders more comfort. And when lenders are comfortable, they have more trust, and ultimately they're able to potentially return to the kinds of products, loan to values, criteria, rates that we were seeing pre-pandemic, pre-lockdown. So we're entering a bit of a period that I'm calling the new temporary norm. I was saying previously we were entering a temporary norm. I said we would come out and we would be on the new norm, but currently we're into this period of new temporary norm. And with those two people coming back into the market, it's giving mortgage lenders and bridging lenders more confidence in the market to be able to hopefully bring back some better products. We've already seen the likes of Halifax and Santander mention that they're quickly going to be going back to actual physical valuations, which is really, really good. And I'm hoping that the challenger bank market really follows suit and the specialist market follows suit, because that's the area where my clients, property investors, property developers hang out. You know, they work with these lenders more often than not, and we need to see the likes of our Kent Reliances, Precises, Kensingtons, Fleet, Foundation, Paragon going back into to using physical valuations as quickly as possible as well. I think long term there's a lot that can be learned from using desktop valuations, and I'm sure there's lots of innovation that's going to be occurring over the coming years in creating a better way of doing these valuations. But for the time being, we need our lenders to be comfortable so that they can return to a sense of normality when it comes to the products and availability of funds that all investors and developers need. So that was just a quick update of why I think that the news that came out on Tuesday is really going to benefit the market. And so just to summarize them, the two key players, which are estate agents and valuers coming back into the market, is really going to stimulate transactions and numbers of transactions. It's been really stagnant for the last couple of months since we've been on lockdown, but with agents driving sales and valuers going back out, able to push through a lot of those mortgage transactions that were being held in limbo for the time being, I think that's going to be massively, massively important. So I will be coming back on and giving as many updates as I possibly can. So make sure, if you're watching this on YouTube, that you subscribe to my channel and click on the notification button, because then you'll know exactly when I post these updates. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments. Love to hear from you. For the time being, I'm out of here. See you later on.